This is an NBC Palm Springs special report. Coronavirus facts, not fear. Presented by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
Joining us now is the mayor of Palm Springs, Geoff. Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here this evening.
Thanks for having me, Gina.
How comfortable are you as the mayor of a city at reopening, even in a limited fashion at this time?
You know, it's really hard to be in the position that we're in, to have things reopen, but we need things to reopen. You know, we can't be in this closed down forever. The economy is taking a huge hit. There are impacts. People are not able to pay their rent or their mortgages, people who don't have health insurance. And we're going to have to live with this COVID virus probably for months, if not longer. And we need to learn how to safely, slowly reopen as the governor has recommended. And they and the county are the public health departments, and we're following their lead on that.
In a more macro sort of view, the country of New Zealand announced that they're basically over it. They haven't had any new cases in several days now, and they actually got their first case after we got our first case. What did they do right? Do you think that we're doing so horribly wrong, or is it simply a numbers game?
Well, I think the big difference is, you know, they're an island, and they very quickly followed the strict public health recommendations. Unfortunately, our country didn't do that. It was held and denied for a long period of time. We didn't get testing. We're just finally getting testing in most of the cities in the Coachella Valley. And as a nation, we lack the leadership to do what the leader in New Zealand did. She did an excellent job of getting everyone to understand that if we followed the rules and closed down quickly, we'd get through this faster and save lives and save the economy. And that's what they've done. But we lack that leadership in Washington, D.C. throughout this.
You mentioned that people are obviously, we've got to reopen if for no other reason they can't pay their bills, they can't feed their family, all those real life repercussions of shutting down the economy. But it's no different for cities and municipalities. You guys are going to be trying to dig out of a pretty deep hole. Tell me about the budget for Palm Springs.
Sure. You know, we're looking at a $75 million hit over 16 months. Fortunately, we built the reserve from a budgeted $12 million in 4.5 years ago to almost $50 million. And we're going to use a big chunk of it. But we need to keep enough in case there's a second wave, as many are predicting in October. But it means cuts in every area, every department. We're a very high service city. We have our own police, our own fire, our own parks and rec programs. We spend a lot more than our neighboring cities to provide all those. And we're going to have cuts in all of them. But we're working hard to do it so we don't have to close anything. We don't have to close the pool, the community center, or the library, but just reduce hours. And we know this is going to impact the economy for many years. The state budget analyst said 2024 is when they think they'll be back to where they were before this. So we have to be really smart and stretch every dollar and be efficient with every dollar we use.
I wouldn't call it a threat from the police union, but they strongly urge that the city council should sell off every asset they have before they cut a single officer. Tell me about the ongoing negotiations with the police and whether or not they're going to be able to keep all their officers. And are you willing to sell off all the parcels of land and anything else that the city has in order to keep every last police officer?
Yeah, actually, I've had meetings with the police officers and spoken to police management, and they've actually been very supportive. In fact, scenario A means not replacing 8 uniformed officers and 2 community service officers. And they've been, you know, not happy about that. No one's happy about it, but they haven't been threatening or anything along those lines. They understand that they're going to have to do their part, and they've said that. As far as selling, you know, land and other assets, council agreed that we need to put those on the market, work with conservancies for some of the land that people want to have open space to see what money's available, and then bring it back for a decision. Look, everything has to be on the table during a crisis like this. You can't cut $40 million out of a budget, potentially for many years, without significant impacts on everything. And we have to be thoughtful and have everything on the table and get all the information so we can make the most informed decisions. And so we've had many special meetings, another one Friday, but it's time we make a decision. We've been talking about this for over 2 months. And every day we wait to make cuts, the deeper they're going to be. moving forward.
Yeah. And I understand the idea that everything's got to be on the table, especially the parcels of land that the city owns. Now, ideally, you'd keep it to keep the natural beauty of Palm Springs, which makes it such an attractive vacation spot. But the idea that you're going to sell to somebody who's not going to want to develop it seems like pretty much a long shot.
No, I think that there are conservancies who are reaching out to. We wouldn't get as much money from a conservancy as we would from a developer. I mean, one of those lots, they were all owned by Grit Development. Two of them were planned to be housing. One has its entitlement already. So we're working as much as we can. Councilmember Garner and I have agreed to take the lead on that. I've already reached out to some of the conservancies, and we are going to market them and get the best information we can. And by the time we have that information, we'll have a better sense of whether the economy's rebounded at all or it's gotten worse than our projections. And that will impact every decision we have to make moving forward.
All right. He's the mayor of Palm Springs with some tough decisions he's looking at down the road. Thank you, sir, for joining us as always.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
We'll be right back after the break.